Hi guys, it's Monique from earlylearningmom.com. I'm here today to share with you another, it's basically a what we read last month um, post, basically. I call it Raising Bookworms, and every month I record which books we have read throughout, for this month. It'll be for the month of January, and basically I just want to share with you guys some ideas of some great book series for read out loud time with your children. So if you want to get some ideas for new books to read with your kids, be sure to stay tuned. Okay guys, so last month in January, Zachariah and I read together 17 chapter books. Some of the ones that we read were The Kingdom of Renly. Now this is the second book, The Scarlet Dragon. And these books, like I said last month, there's quite a bit of pictures. So they're great for new early readers or kids that are just learning to sit through chapter books. It still gives them some pictures to help them visualize the story. We also read this. It's called Fred's Midnight Prowler. This is a Canadian series. When I was in French immersion, they had these books in French. And so I was super excited. At a few book sales, I was able to find them in English so Zachariah and I could share them. This was a new series for us. We read Ivy and Bean. You know, I'm going to be honest with you, I wasn't overly crazy about this particular book. Z he listened to it, but I'm not sure if it was his absolute favorite. I believe we have, this is book 1, I believe we have 2, 4, and 5. I don't think I'll go out of my way to get book 3. We will finish the ones we have, but I'm not entirely sure if this will have a permanent place on our shelf. Maybe as we get more into the series, we'll enjoy it more, but right now, it's not our favorite. Now, that being said, we started reading The Secret of Droon. This is The Hidden Stairs and the Magic Carpet. I have to say I was really impressed with the series. Little Z seemed to really enjoy it. It is, I believe there's 50 or 60 books in the series. I feel if your kids like the Magic Treehouse, they will probably love this series too. So we have a bunch of copies of different ones in the series waiting for us at the border, so I'm super excited to get our hands on those. This was a hockey series that Z received for Christmas. It's from Scholastic. He loves hockey. He loves Hockey Night in Canada and watching the Winnipeg Jets. He's even won tickets and gone to a game. For a kid that has sensory processing issues, that's huge. You can tell he really loves it if he's there. So this was one about sportsmanship, and you know, I really enjoyed the series. So we have another 5, I believe. We're going to be reading through them. They are early chapter books. There's a few pictures, but you know what? Very awesome, especially if you're Canadian and love hockey. We also read, we love the Who Was series. We read the Who Was Neil Armstrong. If you have never heard of this series, you must be living under a rock. They are amazing. We've read Who is Wayne Gretzky, Who is Dolly Parton. We've read many of them. And I find as an adult, I learn while I'm reading this with my kiddos. So this was an awesome book. We also read, this is an Usborne. It's a very early chapter book. I'd say it's more like a picture book, but it's in chapter book form, so great for early readers getting used to chapter books. But yeah, it breaks down right here, all the chapters. There's 9 chapters, but very colorful. Same thing with this. This is Stories of Cowboys. Each chapter is a different story about cowboys. They have a little glossary of cowboy words like rustler and spur, just to kind of explain to the kids what they might be talking about, but each chapter is a story. Now, of course, at least every month, if not sooner, we read the Magic Treehouse. We're on book 20. We've just finished book 28, and this is High Tide in Hawaii. It's based on the Aboriginals that lived in Hawaii before, you know, everybody came there, and it's just a really great story involving the history of Hawaii. So if you are a family that's planning a trip to Hawaii, it might be handy to read this so your child gets, you know, more of the history of what it was like before, you know, America like colonized it. We also have calendar mysteries. This was New Year's Eve Thieves. These are the younger siblings of the characters from A to Z Mysteries. I can't say enough good things about these stories. I love them. Z loves them. If you can get your hands on them, do. This is the older siblings, and this is the A to Z Mystery. It's the New Year's Dragon Dilemma. Now, my dilemma was I saw New Year's, and I thought, oh, we're going to read this on New Year's Day, not realizing that it is based on the Chinese New Year, which is in February. So I really should have saved that for this month, but we still enjoyed it. This is Kitty Corner Callie. It's very similar to the Puppy Place. It's the same author. However, it's two different children, and they live in an apartment and foster cats. There's only 4 in this series. We have read 2 of them, I believe, and I think we have 2 more. We own all of them, so we're getting through those. And I have talked about this series many times in many videos. I grew up with the Bailey School kids. Of course, there's many more books now than when I was a kid. But there's not quite as many pictures in this one. There's a picture per chapter or 2. We read Monsters Don't Scuba Dive. Like I said before, the Boxcar Children, I don't know where they were during my childhood. I know they were around, but I did not read them. We really enjoy this series. It's a much bigger book than we usually read together, much less pictures, but we read Mystery Ranch, which is book 4. Another series that is very wholesome is the Cul-de-sac Kids. They are Christian based, but I think everybody could enjoy them. Now, this particular book was a real winner for me because this little boy deals with ADHD, and he has to, you know, certain behaviors really affect him. So he needs to be in bed early, he needs to watch his sugar intake, he takes medication, and his parents went away for the weekend, and he decided he didn't want to do any of that and tricked his grandmother. So we get to experience the consequences to that and help him work through that. So if you have a child with that type of disability, this might be a real eye-opener for them. There's a few pictures, but maybe 1 every chapter. Maybe every 2 chapters, but awesome series. This has been my favorite book as a mother to a child with ADHD. We don't do medication, but definitely the sugar intake, the early bedtimes, all that stuff is super important. So that was helpful for us. Like I said before, we love The Puppy Place. This one was called Princess. It was about a very, very spoiled Yorkie, and they had to try to find this little spoiled Yorkie a home. And it was very interesting to see how the kids worked through that. It was a different type of dog than they were used to fostering, and it was a lot of fun. And finally, if you have been following me for a while, you know we love the Dragon Masters. This is book 9. It is Chill of the Ice Dragon, and it is quite a few pictures. I just love this author, Tracy West. She actually often comments on my Instagram posts when I post about finishing up books, and she's a really interactive author. So we really love this series. We have all 12 or 13 books. 12. We have all 12 books, and we have the 13th book pre-ordered. So that is what we read. Thanks guys for watching what we read this month. We did read 17 books. I think we probably could have read more, but we had some real life happen. Unfortunately, my husband's grandfather passed away suddenly, so that was a real shock on the family, and we had a lot of late nights, getting together with family and, celebrating his life. So there were some nights that, we didn't come in the door until 9:30, and I got maybe a chapter with him done, and he was passed out cold. There was other nights where, reading, it just wasn't, we didn't have time for it. So I was really impressed that we got through 17 books, and I'm hoping this month, it is a shorter month, but I am hoping that we're going to have a little less crazy real life happen and be able to get more books in. So thank you very much. You want your show? Okay. I gotta go help a little guy. We gotta get some homeschool done. And thanks for watching. If you like these posts, be sure to give it a thumbs up. I'm going to leave a link in the description below. I also will be writing a blog post listing all of these books that I mentioned. So if you want to click on the link, it'll bring you straight to Amazon and you can check it out. And you can also check out Book Outlet. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.